Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to World at War Comics. My next special guest is Mr. John Dexter, writer, creator extraordinaire, Dime Store Detectives, Alpha Dogs. I think you got, what, 5 or 6 issues of that. And now we
Yeah.
got this amazing new title that we're about to jump into. But welcome to the show, John. It is an absolute pleasure to have you on, my friend.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's been touch and go trying to get on your show. I've heard a lot about it. You get a lot of views, so it's awesome to get on a show that's been so highly successful.
Well, I appreciate that, and it's all about the creator. I just love exposing people. Usually I'm exposed first. I'm like, wow, I've never heard of this before. And then I just want to
Yeah.
get it out. And we were talking a little bit before I hit record, the passion we have for independent comics and the amazing stories that are coming out of folks. I love it, man. That's where my passion is at. So yeah,
Absolutely.
incredible, incredible.
Yeah.
Before we jump in, John, I would love to just ask, like in your lifetime, as you look back, whether you were a collector of comics at a very young age or maybe it come later, where did this passion for storytelling come from in your life?
Ever since I was a little kid, as far back as I can remember, I just assumed everybody pretended their room was a movie studio, and I created movies and TV shows, and my room was a movie studio. It just has been ingrained with me. I have no idea why. Weird kid, I guess. And then my first movie I ever seen in the theater was The Empire Strikes Back, and that was, I think, anybody in their 40s, that was their movie that probably got 90% of guys to become writers. It would open up my imagination. And then in the 90s, the X-Men cartoon on Fox, that's when I became obsessed with X-Men, Wolverine, and it was just go time from there. And so I mostly did screenwriting. And then when Alpha Dogs came along, it just, to me, it just fit towards a comic. I had done a comic earlier, Space Cruizin, actually back in 2012. And Space Cruizin is actually one of the first stories I ever created. I was a teenager. I wanted to create a comic book where, they're not fighting a galactic empire, they're not seeking out new worlds. It's just three friends trying to make a buck, getting into trouble, and then end up having to save the galaxy. There's camaraderie with these characters. Yuri, the main character, he's this enhanced Bushido warrior, and he's been disavowed by his people. And then you have Ace, this pilot who is obsessed with pop culture, earthling pop culture. He wears, as you'll see in the Kickstarter, a cowboy hat and I Shot JR t-shirt. A lot of your probably viewers have no idea what I mean, but if you're in your 40s, you probably do. And then a World War II bomber jacket. And then you have Phobos, the android, who's 300-year-old. He's obsolete. And these three friends are just, like I said, they're trying to find earthling artifacts throughout the galaxy, and they get embroiled in this highly, I don't want to give too much away the story, but
No, no, yeah.
former Bushido warrior gets involved with them. So that was the first comic I ever created. It was in 2012. I ended up running out of money, so I wasn't able to finish the comic. And thankfully, in 2021, I created Alpha Dogs, and that's had some success, enough success to finish Space Cruising. So it's been a lot of fun. It's really great when you get to have your passion project that you created when you were a kid, and then of course develop over years, finally come to print.
That is awesome, man. So in essence, this is your actual third title, right? Because you have Dime Store Detectives as well. That's actually been pretty
Absolutely.
successful. Do you have 3 or 4 issues of that have come out, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, so there's 4 issues of Alpha Dogs, and then I did the graphic novel. That was my last Kickstarter. And then there's 3 issues of Dime Store Detective. And next month, I launched Dime Store Detective issue 4, which I'm really excited about. That's you know, I don't get stuck in a genre. I probably should, but Alpha Dogs is more of a superhero type dog comic. And then you have Dexter Detective, which is a supernatural noir. And then this is a science fiction comedy. I kind of describe Space Cruising as Spaceballs meet Star Wars. There's a lot of satire, a lot of comedy, something that we don't get a lot in comics. And so I think people will really enjoy this unique take on the sci-fi genre.
Well, I love it. I love it, John. It sounds awesome. Well, why don't we jump right into the
Yeah.
Kickstarter? I'll pull it up and I would love for you to kind of walk us through it, and let's share with everybody this amazing thing that you've been working on since
Yeah.
2012.
Yeah. We're funded, which is great. And we've only got 6 days left. In about 3 hours, we'll have 5 days left. It ends Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on July 11th. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty. But if somebody is like, well, I don't get paid till next week, it's
Yeah.
not a problem. You can back it now, and no funds will come out till July 11th when the Kickstarter ends.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. I never know how the sound's going to come out whenever we
Yeah,
do this, but let's listen and watch the trailer real quick and see what happens. Is that cool, John?
sounds like a plan. Are they not able to hear this anything?
I can hear it. Can you?
Oh, I can't hear it, but that's okay. I'll shut up. You can hear it. That's all that matters.
That's pretty awesome, man. Did you
Yeah.
put it together yourself?
Oh heck no, I'm not computer savvy. At least I wrote the script, how it should look, picked out the music, and they
Yeah.
did all the magic. Stone Tower Studios, they're my artists on the cover. They've done all of my comics except for they did not do the interior work on this because, as I said, it was before I even know who they were back in 2012. So Kazgoon is the artist on it. As you can see, did a terrific job. But Stone Tower Studios, they did everything else, and once the series continues, they'll be doing the artwork for that. So, and
Wow.
they do all the artwork for all the rest for my Dime Store and my Alpha Dogs. So they're, as you can see, as the covers and the trailers are amazing. If anybody wants to check out the other Kickstarters that have done Alpha Dogs and Dime Store Detective, because you can buy them in this Kickstarter.
Oh,
But if you're interested, you can watch the trailer. If you think that trailer's good, you should watch the trailers for Dime Store and Alpha Dogs. They're just amazing as this one.
yeah, that's incredible. Well, congratulations on reaching your goal. That's always stressful. Um,
Yes.
as you know, of as many Kickstarters that you've done, right? You got that little boost at the beginning. You hit the valley of death for a while, and then
Yeah.
things kind of pick up toward the end, and you hope that last week people come. So you've hit it, but obviously you want to get as much as you can out of this because normally either you're trying to break even on the comic you just did, or you're trying to at least fund the first few pages of whichever issue is next. So I think most
Absolutely.
people understand that. So it's important that people jump on this. Still 6 days left, so plenty of time for people to get really excited about it. I did back it. I'm a sucker when it comes to sci-fi, and comedy is right up my alley. So John, I cannot wait to get my hands on this and check it out. Joe, I'm sorry. But yeah, man, this is freaking awesome, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's not any not I don't think there's any comics like it. I try to write unique stories, something that people aren't going to find another one on the shelf, and I think Space Cruising is like that. It's a very unique story, very fun. It's got a lot of comedy, some adventure. And issue one is kind of an introduction to this new world that will be, hopefully you'll be immersing yourself in as the story continues. So
Now,
um,
John, because you started this in 2012, do you already have other stories that you've been kind of working on over all this time, or did this really kind of sit until you were able to kind of finish?
Well, so Space Cruising, I kind of, that was a dilemma when I first wrote issue one, because I have the whole storyline already mapped out. You know, a Bushido warrior, a former Bushido warrior that was in his clan with the main character Yori's, they were pretty much massacred during the war, and other characters are really metaphors for. So Yuri, the main character, the Bushido warriors are kind of metaphors for Vietnam vets. Because they had come back from the war and were kind of spit on, and thankfully it's not the case so much anymore. But
Yeah.
and these guys, they were kind of like the ultra green berets, sort of, they're enhanced Bushido warriors. We'll find out how they're enhanced later on down the line. So the government kind of disavows them after the war. They have to break up. Well, they all kind of go their separate ways. And this another Bushido warrior named Siba, um, he wants Yori to do something, and at the end of the issue, we kind of get a little taste of it. And then Ace, the alien pilot, he's kind of a metaphor for foreigners that come to America and they love the culture, they love all the pop culture, and you'll see aliens wearing Revolutionary War outfits, cowboys, and other interesting punk got people from out the centuries. The aliens wear the outfits, so they really are enthralled by television, beer, fermented cheeses, but they don't really care for the humans themselves, because they've come from their Earth is no longer sustainable for life, and they have to come to these two planets. And they have neighbors, they have these aliens, and they're not too keen on the humans kind of coming in.
Yeah.
And then Phobos, the android, he's 300 years old. And he's kind of a metaphor for the elderly. The elderly, they're broke down and they're a little nutty, but they have all this knowledge to give, but nobody wants to listen to them. And so there's a lot of funny incidences between Ace, the alien, and the android. They have a lot of conversations, and some funny things happen with them. So
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Sounds incredible. All
yeah,
right, let's kind of jump in. This talks a little
yeah.
bit to the story, which you've been kind of talking to already. Here is, I assume, the main cover, right? So this is
Yeah,
cover
it's main cover, and I mean, the covers, as you can see, are just amazing. This is the main
beautiful.
cover. I mean, the artists at Stone Tower Studios are just Ezekiel Dominguez is the colorist, Fernando Malik, who is the artist for my Alpha Dog series. I mean, they knock them all out of the park.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so
My
fun to.
philosophy has always been the art is what gets them in the door, and the story is what keeps them there. So
Very
I've been
true.
lucky enough to find these guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. Here's
Yeah,
your first variant cover, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. Amazing fantasy. I was like, if you're gonna do a debut cover, you might as well do the best debut cover, in my opinion. Amazing Fantasy, at least one of them.
Yeah,
It's a
an
great,
homage.
funny. Yeah, yeah. I was going to say something, have lettering about him losing his hat. If you scroll down, you can see he's losing his cowboy hat, and I
Uh,
thought, you know what, comedy. I'll just I don't want to do it so much on the cover, just in case that some people might not find it funny. Whatever I think is funny. So anyway, and I think it's cleaner that way anyway. So I
yeah.
really love this cover.
Love it
But the
too.
cover that everybody's buying, the most popular one, is this one
To
right
be
here.
honest,
Which,
this is the one I picked up too, just because
yeah,
of the
that's the most
characters.
popular one. It's fantastic. So this is so and my Alpha Dogs, because Star Wars is my all-time favorite movie. I
Yeah.
had The Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars, and those are really the two iconic movie posters. So I didn't have one, and then I thought, you know what, Star Wars issue 1 from Marvel, that that was a great cover, and this one I think is even better. To be honest, they do. He does a phenomenal job.
Yeah. It's so cool, man.
It is. He just there's so much going on, but not too much, and I just it's yeah, that'll be the one probably that I sell the most at the cons too. So
That's awesome. All right, let's
yeah,
get to some of the rewards. Why don't you walk us through how people kind of enter this world for the first time through this offering?
yeah. So I've tried to keep it as cheap as I possibly could. $5 for the digital. It's a 24-page comic, so you know it's. I think it's very fairly priced. And
Absolutely.
then when I do the physical, Um, I kept that at $10, which if you look at other combo Kickstarters, you know, this has got the digital and the physical reward on this tier. And you know, there's a lot of Kickstarter comics that are doing $15. So I try to keep it as cost effective because I'm trying to get them in the door, you know,
Yeah,
with my series. So I didn't want to price it out. So I think it's very fair, very, very cheap physical tier.
agree. Agree. Yeah. Here's
Then you
that
get Star
cover.
Wars.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that's been definitely most popular, which is funny because I was gonna go with Wrath of Khan, and I'm like, that's the sequel though.
yeah.
Let's do this. So yeah, I think Wrath of Khan will be coming down the way, so we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this is great. That's definitely the one
Yeah,
I picked up. I thought that was a lot of fun.
yeah. And then my one of my favorites, the main cover, which is you know, beautifully done. I mean, the coloring is just phenomenal.
I mean, they're all phenomenal.
Yeah, they are. They do such a great job. I've been really lucky. You know, it was based. All I did was a cold call on Facebook under writers looking for artists, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys blow everybody else away. So it's been a great relationship ever since with those guys.
Well, good for you. I mean, I've had horror stories myself. I've heard of horror stories trying to
Oh
link
yeah,
writers up with artists. So I'm happy for you that you were able
yeah,
to
yeah.
find
Thank
someone
God.
that's trustworthy, you know?
Yeah, in this one, it's a little bit more, but what you get is you get a Kickstarter exclusive sticker. There's a thank you page at the end. Your name will be added to that, and I sign it as well. So and you get the digital version. So it's a lot of bang for your buck. It's not really that much more than the
Yeah.
physical anyway. So yeah, it's $5 more, and you get all that. So
Beautiful.
yeah, and it's the same with this one too. I sign it. You get the Kickstarter exclusive sticker and your name on the thank you page. So.
Love it, man. Love it. And same situation here then, right?
Correct. Yeah. And then I think the next one is the digital. So, or, I'm sorry, you get all three covers. You know, they're priced basically just over $10
Hmm.
each. Basically, yeah.
Plus the digital too, though, right?
Yeah, you get the digital, and
Yeah.
then the Infinite Stretch Skulls, of course, with anything, you get those as well. So, and I will add the name to the thank you page. I didn't write that down, but
Yeah.
your name will be added to the thank you page as well.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. And this is the digital mega bundle. This is a really great deal. If you don't mind getting digital comics, so that you'll get the trade of Alpha Dogs, which it collects issues 1 through 4 plus the bonus story, and you will get the first 3 issues of Dime Store Detective.
That's cool. So
Basically,
cool.
all the comics I've done. Yeah, and it's only $35.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good deal, and I can almost promise you that you'll really enjoy Alpha Dogs and Dime Store Detective. It's gaining momentum as I go, and there'll be some announcement coming in the hopefully near future um, with in regards to my comics. We'll see.
Beautiful.
and this is the for $40. I sign them all. Your name is added to the thank you page. So, and you get the Kickstarter exclusive sticker as well.
Yeah. All right, we're getting into mega bundles here.
Yeah. So with this one, you get the physical edition of Alpha Dogs, the graphic novel. You get the physical edition of Space Cruizin and issues 1 through 3 of Dexter Detective, which
Wow.
Dexter Detective is, if you like supernatural stories, if you like crime mystery, then you really enjoy it. It's kind of like Stephen King's It meets True Detective is probably the best way I can say it.
Okay.
We go back and forth 40 years when the detective is in the present on the hunt for the serial killer. And then we flash back to when the detective is 8 years old, raised by moonshiners. The detective's uncle and father in 1981 have to find a new place to hide their still in the Appalachian Mountains and find this cave that's hidden. And in this cave, there's this evil entity that's been trapped there for hundreds of years by the Cherokee, and they inadvertently release it, and all hell breaks loose. And then this evil entity may or may not return 40 years later to plague this detective with a serial killer that's been going on. So, and
Wow.
then Alpha Dogs is about. So we had this dog. We lived in this town in Missouri who was a pit bull mix, and they'd outlawed pit bulls. So of course we moved. We were going to get rid of our dog, and that kind of inspired me to create the story about this dog that's feared by the public because of his breeding size, but he actually has a huge heart. Well, this story, the main character Buck has the ability to heal from any wound. He's smart enough to understand human speech and has a heightened strength. Him and his owner are on the run from mercenaries that are attempting to kidnap him to manipulate his powers. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of adventure, and it's got a lot of heart.
That's so cool, man. Love it. Especially for all those dog lovers, man.
Yeah.
All right. Then we got the retailer packages.
Yeah, you get it's $10. I mean, I'm sorry, you get 10 comics for $70, and you can pick whatever comics of those 10 you want.
Yeah. That's awesome. Important. All right. What's going on here on this
So
one?
this is the meet and greet. You owe me $150 after this, by the way. I'm just so it's basically, they say throw something big on there at the end, and this is basically the best I could come up with. If anybody wants to do a Zoom meeting, we can talk about comics, talk about making them. I don't care. Then you get the 3 issues of Space Cruizin, and I've been very fortunate that 2 people have backed this tier, so it's pretty cool. And I've been fortunate that almost every Kickstarter 1 person backs it. So to have 2, it was a big relief, because it was a big help for this campaign, because it's tough doing a new title because people kind of know me as the Alpha Dogs guy.
Yeah.
And then I did totally different genre with Dexter Detective, but I had to tell the story. You're a writer, you know how it is. It's going to kill you if you don't get the story out. And so I asked, people to come on a ride for this one, Dexter Detective, and now asking for this new genre. It has been tough to get. It's been actually the slowest funded of all of my Kickstarters. So it has been tough, but I think once people get their hands on it and read it, they'll know, hey, he can write other things than talking dogs. So it's cool. So it's been a lot of fun. The great thing is I wrote it and paid for 90% of it or 80% of it over 10 years ago. So it's almost like a free comic to a certain extent. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then here we are on the stretch goals where we're trying to reach right now. So hopefully we can unlock some of these over the next 6 days, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I definitely think the 2,500 is within reach.
Yep.
We're about, I'm at I'm about 17 right now. So $800. I think that's attainable. It's going to be tough, but we'll see what happens. I have faith.
Yep, exactly. And I think, like you said, whenever you have a fan base and they know your style of writing, and then all of a sudden you're doing a sci-fi, they're like, whoa, okay, that's a little different. Like you said, man, the story sounds awesome.
It is.
Yeah,
It's a real fun story.
Yeah, So
I'll be really interested to see how people like my dive into comedy, But I think it's pretty good. It's got a lot of satire, like I said. If you're a fan of Spaceballs, if you're a fan of Galaxy Quest, if you love Star Wars, then you're definitely gonna like this series.
yeah,
There's Daisy Duke
there's
poster right
Daisy Duke.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's towards the beginning of it. And Ace is kind of our narrator to introduce us into this brand new world. And his spaceship is called Silver, which is named after the Lone Ranger's horse, which is cool.
So definitely taking a whole bunch of early or late 70s, early 80s.
Yes, yes. Well, 80s. That's I was a kid in the 80s,
Oh
and
yeah.
so
The
in
best
the 80s had so
decade
many
to be a
great
kid, I think, man.
catchphrases. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Best decade to be a kid, I think.
I think so, and I think the 90s was the greatest to be the teenager. Nothing
Yeah.
bad ever happened in the 90s. It was great.
He's awesome. I agree. I agree.
And
Yeah.
so here we're getting introduced to the aliens, and so the aliens they declare war, and all for the first time, all 308 species of aliens come together to declare war on the humans.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, it's not. It's a different take. They're not the aliens are not this advanced race in my story. The humans are, and
Hmm.
so the humans kind of um, beat them, even though they're outnumbered 6-1. They end up winning this war, and so the aliens have to kind of live under the humans' rule, which causes a lot of animosity, obviously.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the world building of the story, and I think it's done really well because you have Ace kind of narrating it for us, and he explains, there's a lot of aliens that just hate the humans for what they did and coming in here, but I love them. They introduced beer and TV into my life, so we're good.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah,
A lot of really cool internal pages too.
I think so. I think he did. Yeah, he did a terrific job, and I think when somebody reads this, they're gonna want to be a part of this group of these three outcasts because that's really what they are. And I think we all have kind of, in our own way, kind of felt like outcasts with certain times in of our lives, and I think people are gonna really want to be sitting on here with every issue, kind of sitting in with these guys and their camaraderie, and even though they kind of argue and joke and cut on each other, they're good friends.
Yeah.
So I really believe that people are gonna really want to come in and sit for the ride.
Yeah. Agree. Agree.
And the artifacts that they're looking for, it's because it is comedic. It's not going to be the Hope Diamond or
Yeah.
um, a Statue of Liberty. It's going to be something
An
that
H-back or something.
yeah, exactly. It's going to be what society, thousands of years in the future are going to think, wow, this is amazing. I have no idea what this is. And so I don't want to give anything away, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think people will be in for a treat.
I love it.
And here, so they're trying to find this artifact, and it's in this lake, it's in a spaceship that's crash landed in this lake of terror. And our main character Yuri has to try to retrieve it, and there's some evil, not evil, but some big, mean old creatures in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the great part is the comic's done, so it's all written. It's currently this next week. It'll be all lettered, so you're not gonna have to wait 6 months, 8 months, a year to get your comic. With if everything goes according to plan, a week after the Kickstarter ends, I'll be able to set out the digital. I can't promise how long the printer's going to take,
Yeah.
but like I said, I fulfill very fast, and I've got to fulfill very fast because Dexter Detective launches August 13th. So obviously, I want everybody to get their hands on their rewards because they're not going to want to back my next Kickstarter project if they're still waiting
Yeah.
for fulfillment of the last one. So
Exactly.
so yeah, you're not going to be waiting a long time. There's some Kickstarters that you're waiting 8-9 months for it. You're not going to have That's not going to happen with me. And
Yeah.
I've ran 9 other campaigns, and I think people will testify that they've got their stuff in a very timely manner.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then you kind of talk about some of your previous work that you've
Yeah,
done with the alpha dogs, obviously.
yeah, you can get a lot of these covers, some of them are sold out, but almost all of them are available in this. Well, the graphic novel, which has a lot of the covers on it, are in this Kickstarter. So if you think the covers look pretty cool, most of these covers are in the graphic novel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the
And as you can
covers
see,
look awesome.
they do an awesome job.
Yeah, those are incredible.
Yeah, you can probably see some of the homage covers
Yeah,
in there that
little
I've done.
ASM homage right there.
Yeah. They're awesome. I've got some good ones coming. I've got some great ones coming for Alpha Dogs 5. So
I love it.
yeah. And there's Dexter Detective, let Jared explain. And those covers. And if somebody wants a different cover, all of those are available. So if you say, well, I'd rather have the variant issue one, that's not a problem. All of them are still available, the covers.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, it looks incredible. Let's go back at the top. Let's just remind everybody
Yeah.
we're currently at. We're at 1745. So we have surpassed the goal. There's 6 days left. Again, the goal of a Kickstarter, right, is not just to hit the goal, but hopefully you're surpassing that goal because you're always either funding what the true cost is of a comic or you're funding that next issue. And I always tell people, right, Kickstarter is not like a gift site. You're not giving free money to a creator, right? You're paying
Yeah.
for a comic book. It's like going to a local comic book store and you're paying for that comic. So if you love sci-fi, if you love humor, which I do, you love pop culture, you got to get your hands on a Space Cruisin issue 1. It sounds like it's a lot of heart and a lot of time has gone into this issue, since 2012. So more than 10 years in the
Yeah.
wait. So here it is finally, and I can't wait to get my hands on it myself.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's basically like 25 years in the making, to be
Yeah.
quite honest, from the time I created it till now. And it'll be a lot of fun. Like I said, you can always click on my name on here. If you're interested in Dimes Detective or Alpha Dogs, you can watch the trailers because all the past Kickstarters on there and read about them. And I can almost guarantee you, if you are interested, you watch the trailer, you're gonna really, I think, be willing to buy these. Like I said, the digital for everything is only 35. So it's a pretty good deal, I think. That's Alpha Dogs the trade is like 114 pages in itself. So
Oh wow. Yeah.
yeah, so it's
A
a
lot of
lot of fun.
story. A lot of story. Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, you're right with because basically whatever goes into this goes right into Dexter Detective 4, trying to get that thing paid off.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, comic books aren't cheap. That's for
Yeah.
sure. So, well, John, let's now talk a little bit about how fans can find you on social media. That way they can start following you immediately because you have a lot going on with these 3 different titles. And if you have 3 titles, that means a fourth one's down the road at some point. As a
Yeah.
creator, right? You just don't stop at 3. It means you have a lot of ideas. What's the easiest way for people to follow you on social media, and on what platforms are you on?
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook. Really, if you type in JONDXTR, it should come pretty close to the top on Facebook. I
Okay.
also have my Alpha Dogs is on Facebook as well.
Yep.
On Instagram, I'm at alpha underscore comic. I'm sorry, at alpha underscore dogs underscore comic. And on X, I'm on at real alpha dogs.
Okay.
So very easy to find. And yeah, give a follow. I'm always showing pages of whatever next I'm doing. So
Beautiful. And then let's talk a little bit about Comic Cons where fans can meet you in person. Do you have a set of cons that you plan on doing from now to the end of the year that you
yes,
have a calendar for already?
yeah. So August. I'm looking right now because I want to make sure I got it right. August, the big one I'll be at. The next one is going to be Fan Expo in Chicago. That's a big one. That's going to be August 16th through 18th. Mark Hamill's going to be there. They have over 70,000 people attend. So it's going to be the biggest con I've ever went to, which is really cool.
That's
And
awesome.
then September 14th, I'll be at Frankenfest. It's in Detroit. It's kind of a horror. I've never been to this one yet, so it's kind of like a horror con, but they do sell comics. But it's supposed to be really great. It's a lot of fun from what I understand. But yeah, that's in Detroit. And then hopefully we'll find out here soon, but I'm hoping to get into the Grand Rapids Comic Con. That's in November, and then finishing off the year, hopefully I'm still waiting to see if I'm in, is the Motor City Comic Con in Detroit, and that's in November as well. So I still have to wait to see if I get into those. Hopefully I do. I think I have a really good chance of getting into them, but yeah, we'll see. But for sure, the next one is going to be Chicago Fan Expo, and that's a big one. Like I said, that'll be the biggest one I've ever tabled at, so that'll be cool.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Are we leaving anything else out, John, that you want to kind of share about this particular comic or anything else that's going on?
No, not really. I think we've pretty much covered all the bases. Like I said, if you if you want to read a comic book that isn't, on a soapbox, non-political, just something to sit down, read a lot of adventure, read a lot of comedy. I think people will really enjoy it. And like I said, I've been lucky enough that even though I'm still a small creator, not well known as much as some other ones, I've only been not doing this for very long. And every Kickstarter of a title, the audience has grown, readership has grown with everyone. So I think Space Cruizin will. If you just, like I said, it's only $5 for the digital, and you can get the physical for only $10. So it's not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal at all. At all, man. Well, John, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you hanging out with me for the day. It's been a pleasure getting to meet you. Sorry we had to move some dates around, but I'm glad that we finally nailed it down, and I was able to meet you. And now I'm a backer because I love sci-fi, and it sounds like this is going to be a banger of a story. I can't wait to get into it. And if anybody else is listening, jump in. $10 I'm starting for a physical, $5 for a digital. You can't go wrong. And you're getting an amazing story. So, and there's a lot of other stuff that you could try from John too, if you like this. So,
Yeah.
congratulations on all your success so far, my friend.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And thanks for having me on your show. You're quickly being the hardest working podcast for the business with all your interviews. So yeah, thank you very much. I really honestly appreciate it.
Yeah, well, you're welcome anytime, John. Would love to help you out any way that I can. And we'll make sure we blast this out. We'll have all the information below to make it super easy for people to go directly to the Kickstarter, to find you on social media. And we'll make sure that we mention your other titles, Alpha Dog, and what was it called? Dinosaur Detectives. Yep. So we'll make sure all that information's on there for everybody to make it super simple to get to know John through all these amazing titles. But John, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I wish you the very best, man. I hope you get to that $2,500 before the next 6 days.
Yeah, so do I. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, hope you have a great weekend, my friend, and it was a pleasure.
Yeah, the pleasure was all mine. Thanks.
All right. Have a good one, John. Stay safe. Talk soon.
You too.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.